steal back the other way. Sixers take a 14-point lead. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 12 dimes for Simmons as Philly wins 125-108. Doc Rivers saying, as long as I'm here, I'm going to make Ben a better player. And he would be improving upon someone who is no stranger to triple-double territory, career triple-double, number 30 for him. That's the third most by any player in NBA history in his first 4 seasons. He trails Oscar Robertson, and that mark looks well out of reach. 113 for the Big O, and Magic Johnson had 47.
So James Harden is now in Brooklyn, and I mean that physically, not just spiritually. He got to New York yesterday, and the team will have a press conference today, 1 p.m. Eastern. When that happens, we'll bring it to you live. But if you're wondering when we might see Harden on the floor with his new team, the Nets do play the Magic tomorrow, and there is a game Monday night against the Bucks. Let's bring in our Malika Andrews now, who joins us via the phone. That's the schedule. You got the Magic, then the Bucks, so 2 games between tomorrow and Monday night. So when do we see him?
That's right. Good morning, Nicole. Well, what has to happen for James Harden to get out on the court with the Brooklyn Nets is not only does he need to pass his physical examination, but also every player that is involved in this 4-team trade, all of those players need to pass their physicals. Now, these teams want to get their new players out on the court. They're working to do this quickly, right? They do not want to be playing down to 8, 9 players like we saw when the Knicks and the Nets played the other day. So they would like to see James Harden out on the court as soon as possible. It could be as early as tomorrow on Saturday against the Magic, but again, it will just depend on that physical. Now, Sean Marks, the general manager of the Knicks, said that he thinks that the Nets are going to have to use their practices, their games as practices to some extent because of the fact that they are on this schedule right now where they're playing every other day. They're going to need to cram a lot of that learning time into these games. But what he is hoping is that he can bank on largely the relationship that James Harden and Kevin Durant had before because they already played together, as well as the relationship that he had with Jeff Green from playing with him in OKC, as well as with the Rockets, so that they can speed up that process of gelling on the court when he does play, which could be as early as tomorrow.
Let's keep it right there with Sean Marks, and I'm glad that you brought him up because perhaps you've heard that Kyrie Irving is still a member of the Nets team. It's just that he's missed the last 5 games due to personal reasons, whatever that means for him. What are they saying about Kyrie?
Well, Sean Marks took questions yesterday for the first time about Kyrie's absence when he was doing a press conference, a news conference after the James Harden trade. And he did admit that the team was, quote, disappointed to not have any player with him, and in this case, Kyrie is what he said. But he also reiterated, and we've heard this from him now in statement form and when he was taking questions, that he wants Kyrie to speak for himself, Nicole. He is not going to be explaining his absence. He said that Kyrie is going to need to do that. And certainly he said that when there is a reason why a player is away from a team for personal reasons for an extended period of time, then that's something that can be and should be excused. But he again deferred to leaving that up to Kyrie to explain where he has been, why he has been away. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski and I reported that it is unlikely that Kyrie Irving will play against Orlando tomorrow. And remember, his return to the court timeline, that's not up to Kyrie. That is not up to the Nets. The NBA needs to decide whether or not he broke the coronavirus protocol rules by going to what appeared to be a family birthday party. Sean Marks said he hopes that they have that decision soon. And when they have that decision, it will determine how long and if he needs to quarantine and when he'll get back to the court.
Just want to throw this out there. If Kyrie does want to speak for himself, if he does want a platform to perhaps do that, Randolph and I have a little show going right now. Maybe you'd like to join us. It's an open invitation. Thank you, Malika. Brooklyn has gone 3-2 in Kyrie's absence. And remember that
is SportsCenter AM.
Why and how in Jacksonville, why Urban Meyer takes this job and how he's going to make the move from college to the pros. And for the Jets, what a new head coach means for Sam Darnold's future. You got a Cali kid heading to Lambeau. Jared Goff says he's good to go. And how will he handle the cold in Green Bay? Our NFL expert has concerns for the Rams QB against the Packers. And while the Rockets may be better without James Harden. And when can we expect to see the Beards' Brooklyn debut on SportsCenter AM?
Mike Miller always said I'm a cookie monster, and I'm going to steal that from him, so I'm a cookie monster.
Urban, as you sit here now, do you believe you will not coach again?
I believe I will not coach again.
From that to coaching news, this just into SportsCenter. According to our Diana Rossini, the Atlanta Falcons have offered Arthur Smith their head coaching job, coming by way of the Tennessee Titans, where he was the offensive coordinator at the helm of an attack that ranked 4th in the league in scoring during the regular season, averaging 30.7 points per game. Smith, 38 years old, will replace Dan Quinn. Hey, congratulations. You made it to the pre-kend.
It's a lifestyle.
SportsCenter AM, Nicole Briscoe and Rady Scott. Happy to get this Friday started with you. And we start with a fresh start for the Rockets.
Who said that team couldn't be fixed? Oh, it was James Harden. Guess what? No beard, no problem. Rockets taking on the Spurs. This is the first Rockets game without James Harden on the roster since April 26, 2012. No John Wall either. He's on the roster. He just not playing in this one. Sore knee. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Spurs up 5. Rockets turn it over to DeMar DeRozan. Fast break. Keldon Johnson. Career high 29 points. DeRozan gets the hustle points. He actually had 13 real ones to go with his 7 assists. Spurs up 8. Rockets now down 9. 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Sterling Brown driving inside. No, I'm going to kick that out to Christian Wood. How about a 6-point game? Head coach Stephen Silas said his team had spirit, and spirit led to a 15-2 run in the fourth quarter. Brown wide open for a 3. Rockets pull within 3. 3 minutes to play now. Rockets down 3 still. Wood going to get the block. Rockets now on the fast break, and Brown dishes to David Nwaba, who misses a layup, but that's okay. Tate, offensive rebound there. Open is Wood. That is a 3. He had 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And oh, by the way, that ties it up. 101 for you and 101 for you. 2 minutes to play. Rockets up 2, and Brown, who took Harden's spot in the starting lineup, 23 points. Rockets now up 4. Spurs had a chance. Nah. First game since trading Harden, the Rockets hold on to win at 109-105. Harden said the Rockets could not be fixed. The Rockets say they now have a lot to prove, and they are 2-0 without Harden this season. It was 2-6 when he played with the team. Obviously, there's lots of time now to explore the life without Harden portion of the program, and perhaps some money to figure out how to best bolster the crew that they've got there now, because the 9 players available in that game against the Spurs, their salaries combined for about $35 million, which is $6 million shy of what Harden alone is making this season. Coming up, the question is now, when will we see James Harden with his new team? We've got a new timeline for you this morning. It's ahead on SportsCenter AM.
We got an epic one-on-one battle here. Golden State and Denver, a.k.a. Steph Curry, against the Cookie Monster. We'll explain. Nikola Jokic coming in, averaging a triple-double on the season, and D is for dunking upon this rookie. Was it a dunk, though? It's Nikola Jokic working on James Wiseman baseline. The bench says it was. Was it just sort of like a lay-in? His fingers are on the rim. Either way, it worked. James Wiseman did have 18 points, but he's making the highlight for all the wrong reasons. Steph Curry would darn near double those 18 points, though. Off a screen, Steph, a triple. Warriors cut the deficit to just 8, but this 3 here in a 10-point game is ridiculous. The range. Mike Malone, the Nuggets head coach, said, listen, when he makes his shots, don't look over at me and say I played good defense when you didn't. Steph, the range is crazy at 29 after 3 quarters in the fourth. It's Jokic double-teamed. He's able to find Will Barton.
Oh, nice.
Dad bod God is sharing the basketball. The Nuggets back up 11. Mike Malone said, I think he's definitely in the MVP conversation. The impact he's had every single night. Jokic to a streaking Monte Morris. That gives him another triple-double. That was his 10th assist. Jokic padding that and then getting his own bucket. 23 points, 14 boards, and those 10 dimes. Nuggets win. Now, Jokic, explain the nickname.
Mike Miller always said I'm a cookie monster, and I'm going to steal that from him, so I'm a cookie monster. Maybe I'm not that good defensively, but I'm a cookie monster.
Sharp dresser, that Cookie Monster.
How do we explain the facial hair situation that's happening there?
It's a new entry into the nickname pantheon. Cookie Monster, Big Honey, Dad bod God. Urban Meyer, we'll get to you in just a moment.
Hold tight.
You selfish, headline-grabbing head coach in Northeast Florida. But Jokic, meanwhile, 46th career triple-double. That ties LeBron James for the 8th most in NBA history.
Urban, as you sit here now, do you believe you will not coach again?
I believe I will not coach again.
Are you fairly certain?
Certain, yes.
Never is a very big word. What are the chances we'll never see you lead another team out of a tunnel?
I don't believe that's going to happen. I'm going to enjoy it tonight. I don't believe I'm going to coach again.
Unless, of course, he changes his mind again. Urban Meyer is the new head coach of the Jacksonville